What's up, Facebook? We're late. We're on time, depending on your point of view. Because it's always just depending on a different point of view. You know, like Obi-Wan said back in Empire Strikes Back, was it? Empire Strikes Back? Was it? There's no one watching right now, so. That's it, and it fell over. You are going to be a problem today, aren't you, Mr. Camera Holder? Yeah, today is going to be one of those. It's just one of them days. And then we also have lots of background noise too. We're on Facebook right now. We're on Facebook right now. We're on Facebook right now. Let me get this set up over here. Let me get the Twitch. Yeah, whatever. There's no particular goal. I don't care about having a particular goal. I just want to get this up and running. Let's share this. Let's get Twitch up and running. Broadcast on Twitch. Dre's Geek Philosophy. 5, 8, 17. We're live on Twitch now as well. All right. Here we go. Live from somewhere in Los Angeles, this is Dre's Geek Philosophy, the May 8th edition, the post-Guardians of the Galaxy edition of the show. This past weekend was Guardians, big fucking deal.
Yeah.
All three members. Pete and I went to go see it Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, you saw it last night?
I saw it last night.
Saw it last night. Everybody here watched it. We're going to try to stay spoiler-free because I'm sure there's still people out there who have... If you haven't watched it, why haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's Guardians. It's freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. I personally, it was a boatload of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I dare say, better than the first one. I will dare to say that. I will jump out on that limb and say it was better than the first one because it took everything that we liked about the first movie, and as I put it out on Twitter, it turned it up to 11. Much like Spinal Tap. Mm-hmm. It took all those ridiculousness up to 11.
Yeah.
And just... my personal feeling, my observation about the movie was that Disney got out of the way of James Gunn.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, you know what you did totally worked the first time. You know what? Do it again.
Yeah.
And then James Gunn's like, I'm going to do it again. But now I'm like, the shackles are off.
Yeah.
Drax is just going to be ridiculous the entire movie.
He was awesome.
He was amazing. I think he was the real MVP.
Yeah.
I like declaring real MVPs of things, and Drax was totally the real MVP of the movie. He had, like, per capita most one-liners out of everyone.
Oh, yeah. I feel like he had the most, he spoke the most character-wise, right? Like,
yeah, honestly, because without venturing into spoiler territory, like there wasn't a lot of Star-Lord. I mean, we had Star-Lord. He was hilarious. He was still funny. If any characters, I think if anyone, they took a step back and kind of relaxed on one Star-Lord because the first movie was all about Peter Quill, and this time they kind of like, all right. Well, although the big plot point was, well, I'm sure everybody knows, no, Peter's dad. We get to find Peter's dad, Ego.
Yeah.
And we find out all about him. And then they developed Gamora and Peter's sort of quasi-relationship. Yeah. But what I think they did more was build up Nebula and Gamora's sisterhood. That I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That they built up that whole, like, that really, like, we want to kill each other, but we're still sisters.
Yeah.
Like obviously the theme of the theme of the entire movie was family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a familiar. I mean, Sam, why don't you give us some of your thoughts?
We were talking about how we were scaling, like what's been scaled up and scaled down. They ramped up Drax, definitely.
Yes.
They also didn't overuse Baby Groot.
Yeah. I mean,
that they were gonna, especially with how the opening was awesome.
But the first 5 minutes.
I thought they were gonna insist on the adorableness of Baby Groot a little bit. And they didn't. They really didn't overuse that. Some
of my friends, I guess some overly critical nerds thought they did overuse them, but I'm in accordance with you, Mr. Sam, Executive Producer Sam Zia. We got just the right amount of Baby Groot.
Yeah.
He broke up whatever tension, and whenever tension did build up,
yeah,
and he was used properly. Well, what do you think, Pete?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like just like Sam said, the way they promoted it, I thought he was gonna be all over the place, but he was used,
because he, the baby Groot kind of was the runaway everyone's favorite character from the first movie. Like, the last, the end of the movie, like, oh, look how adorable little baby Groot, and everyone, toys were sold, everything was like, oh, they didn't overuse him. Everyone, I felt like, Rocket got a lot of development. Like, he had some big character moments.
Oh, absolutely.
Without venturing into spoiler territory, he had some big character moments. Yondu, he got a huge freaking boost to his story instead of just being, I'm angry and I'm just gonna run around and be an asshole to everybody and I'm gonna eat you, Peter.
Yeah, he was a badass.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was fucking awesome.
And I love the interplay with him and with Rocket. Mm-hmm. I thought that they fed off of each other really well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. In the latter half of the movie, during their interactions, it was really good. And of course, obviously, the interactions between Yondu and Star-Lord at the end, really good. There was a lot. I mean, frankly, there was a lot to love about that movie. Yeah, it's just, I actually want to watch it again. I really want to go back and sit down and just freaking laugh my ass, because I really like you were sitting next to me.
Yeah,
I would laugh my ass off. I'm a brain mule, a brain donkey when I'm at the theater. When I'm really enjoying something, I let it out. I don't hide the fact that I'm enjoying the fuck out of a movie. Yeah. When I literally. I want to say like 99% of the movie, I probably had a shit-eating grin on my face. Yeah. I was having a great time.
A lot of fun, man. And then there was just so much packed into it too, man.
Mm-hmm. I think the only small issue, the only issue I had in the movie was from a nerd perspective, was that they didn't give us any real information about what's coming out next. There was no, because a lot of the Marvel movies, they're all interconnected and they all try to tend to feed into one another. They kind of like, oh, here's because we know after this we have Thor Ragnarok, and after that next year, or literally this weekend next year, Avengers: Infinity War.
Oh, we have Black Panther before that, right? In February.
Isn't it February? Oh, yeah, that's right. Black Panther is in the Deadpool spot.
Yeah,
I totally.
Spider-Man as well.
Oh, Spider-Man, yeah. Well, yeah, we have Spider-Man Homecoming, but I feel like we're not going to get any Infinity War information out of that. I mean, we know. It's been confirmed on the internet Spider-Man is going to be in the Infinity War movie. But I feel, as a nerd, that's the only thing that kind of like, I was like, oh, I wish we had gotten more. I mean, one of the post-credit scenes did kind of hint towards a character. I will stay spoiler free on that one. They hinted towards a character. I feel like I might have to mention it. I don't know. I feel like after the show I might have to explain it to Sam.
I kind of feel that's gonna be saved for like Guardians 3 though.
You know what? Maybe, huh? Yeah. Because what the Marvel movie universe has done a really good job of is not strictly stay adherent to what happens in the comics, like what happened in the comic books. That's where I'm most curious about when we get to Infinity War next year, where it's like what changes are going to make to the original Infinity Gauntlet story to when we get there. And I'm actually pretty excited that I really feel it is going to be different. There's going to be some changes, much like Civil War last year, where that movie was it last year? Civil War? My brain's not working.
Last Free Comic Book Day.
That was last year's Free Comic Book Day movie? Okay, cool. And I felt like they actually improved upon the original comic book story. Oh, yeah. Where I felt like, because I was looking back, because every morning I obsessively check On This Day on Facebook, and I see some of the stuff I said. I said last year, I'm like, I know I'm going to alienate everyone, but I'm going to be Team Iron Man until the day I die. Awesome goatee bros for life. and then that's where they improved the original Civil War story in that they made both sides seem compelling, where in the comic book, it was very much like, oh, I'm on Cap's side. Yeah. Iron Man's being a dick. Yeah. But in the movie, both sides were actually you understood both sides, where they were, it's going to be crazy. And I say on Facebook Live, Infinity War Part 1. Irv, they have changed it. It's just going to be Infinity War, and then the next movie is going to be named something else. They have walked back in Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be called Infinity War, and then the following movie is going to be called something else, apparently. Some Avengers, maybe Infinity Gauntlet, maybe something else. I don't know.
That's the rumor.
They've walked it back. Yeah. It's no longer just Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, as they announced a year or two ago.
It's technically a sequel, but they're two different movies.
Right. So that way, I guess you don't have the sequel, what was it, where Matrix 2 and 3, where it's like, oh, like you get cut off halfway, like, oh no, why? I need more. Where I feel like they're gonna treat it two separate things. Oh, Ryan Rios on Facebook Live asks if I have any thoughts on the new Blade Runner trailer, and I haven't watched it. I saw that it was a thing that happened today on the internet, but I didn't watch it. That is my brother and my dad's favorite sci-fi movie.
That movie's great, man.
That's a classic.
I've only seen it once.
Really?
And well, I don't know. It may have to do with the fact I was young, and I think my dad was making me watch it when I was younger, and I didn't get into it.
Oh man.
I felt like, I don't know, because like there's so many versions of it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think like when my pops. This is more of a daddy issue than a nerd issue, Mr. Ryan Rios. This is a dad issue that I have with the movie.
You have it on VHS?
My dad had it on Laserdisc.
Oh.
Laserdisc.
No, it's my dad's favorite movie. That is literally my dad's favorite movie, which is why I kind of don't care. I think that's probably more hashtag Dre's daddy issues. That's kind of why I'm not into Blade Runner, because it's my pop's favorite movie. My brother loves it. He owns he owns every Blu-ray version of it, because there was a box set that came out a few years ago that had like seven versions of it on there.
I have that thing.
You have that thing? Yeah. And I watched it on Laserdisc years ago at the behest of my pops, and I was mostly confused.
It's pretty confusing. Yeah. Depending on what version you watch,
right? Because there's so many versions, and the one I watched, I don't have that that nerd love that the majority of nerds have for that movie.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, the first time I saw that movie, I was already in high school, and we went to a blood drive, and we're doing blood platelets. I don't know if you've ever done that. They stick you in this machine where they stick a needle in one arm, they stick a needle in the other arm. They take blood out of one arm, it goes through a machine, and they put it back in you.
What is this?
Yeah. And you have to do this for about 2 hours.
What?
Yeah. And so I remember we went, and the lady was like, oh, you can watch a movie. And she had a copy of Blade Runner. I'd never seen it. So I don't know if it was because of what was happening to me, but I was very...
Because of the science fiction blood transfusion?
But I was very enthralled in Blade Runner. And it's stuck in my head forever.
That's pretty epic, actually.
Yeah. That is quite. I mean, I feel like this might be a thing I might have to do for the show, where I might have to just watch the movie and broadcast me watching the movie. Because I dare say it's probably been at least 20 years. Because I'm trying to think, the last time I lived with my pops was probably more than 20 years ago. Hashtag Dre's daddy issues. I know our friend Mari Soul is going to love that, because that's her favorite hashtag. Whenever I talk about how much my papa issues, my daddy issues.
Now that's to bring the conversation
back to Guardians.
Yeah,
no.
I know that I heard that there was some kids, like 8, 9 through age 12, 13, that were actually getting triggered by the daddy storyline in the movie. In
Guardians, yeah, because your pop, because you haven't seen your pop since you were a kid. I mean, Peter Quill went 20 some odd years without seeing his pops. 30 some. Well, that's right, because it was like 37 years later or 34 years later, like when they did the time jump from the beginning of the movie. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it's like I can understand. It's funny because when we were doing the pre-show meeting and you were telling us about how your emotional reactions to the daddy issues, dude. I was like, I didn't get hit by any of that. And that was kind of weird. I was like, wait a minute, how did I not get hit by this?
Well, I'm also, raising somebody else's little girl who's not in her life at all, And that's something that's a real big part of the whole thing.
The whole Yondu Star-Lord relationship. Yeah. Now it's like you're having that relationship with your stepdaughter.
I'm not going to say anything about the ending, but the song choice at the end was something that hit me, because that's a song that goes back for me to my childhood.
I see on Facebook Live.
I was telling Peter, they played the whole song. Yeah. They didn't dodge it or edit it. They went through the whole thing, and I had this 3-minute State of the Union going on in my notes of how everything happened in my life, and now here I am. And I'm telling you, it may have actually improved an already awesome relationship that I have with my little girl now.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's right. You were telling us how, like, you saw her react to the the Yondu Star-Lord relationship in the movie.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I got JoJo. And,
you have your son, your actual son.
Yeah, so even like the little moments with Baby Groot were like, oh my god, that reminds me of stuff JoJo does.
Yeah, Baby Groot. Like you had such a strong family reaction to the movie, where I was just laughing my ass off.
Well, here's the thing. You said that this for you was better than the first one.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't have an objective view on it because so far I'm emotionally skewed towards 2.
Yeah, you are very emotionally skewed.
I could not see it for a while so that I can figure out which one of these 2 I actually like better, because I loved the first.
The first one's amazing.
Yeah, the first one's still my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, I remember when we were walking in the movie, I was saying my Guardians probably the most fun or the best Marvel movie probably. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was dating the last girlfriend I had, she had never watched any of the movies. That was the first movie I showed her. I didn't go Iron Man 1. I went Guardians. I'm like, you know what? This is the most accessible. This is the most fun. This is like the easiest to. I mean, even though there's all kinds of, like, there's a talking raccoon and a walking tree. Yeah, this is the easiest to understand Marvel movie. Oh, but real quick, before I forget, I saw our friend Caleb Hochberger, a.k.a. Bushy Browley, has joined us on Facebook Live. I wanted to wish him a happy birthday, because today was your birthday, and I know we were in PSN chat, and you probably wondering why I didn't say happy birthday earlier, because I was going to give you the happy birthday shout-out on the show. So happy birthday to old Caleb Hochberger. I know I'm saying your name wrong, so happy birthday, Bushy. Oh, and right there we got Sam chiming in on the Facebook Live using our Facebook account.
I'm prompt with it.
He's prompt. Sam is on top of it. You have your laptop, you have your computer in front of you. I have my laptop in front of me. And yes, Bushy, we are going to be using the topic you suggested earlier, because earlier, Caleb, aka Bushy, was telling me about how Game Informer, the magazine of GameStop, did the top 100 role-playing games of all time. And they did a list.
The top 100. This could take all day.
No, we're not going to go through all of them. No. We are not going to go through all of them. I'm going to talk about a couple of things I noticed on the list, and a couple of things that surprised me, and I thought that was were pleasant surprises for me, because young man, 16, 17-year-old Dre Cervantes, I loved JRPGs, Japanese RPGs. That's where I roll. That is where I dwell. I don't know if I can still dwell in that area, because most of those games require 100-something hours, and I can't.
240 hours to be exact on Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's how it goes on some games. And on the list, we're going to quickly just look at the top 10 here, because I really do want to talk about other things in video games, but video games are going to be a for good topic. I do want to talk about other stuff, and then that's something else I'm going to bring up later in the show. Some other stuff that I'm going to. I haven't told these two guys yet, but I have some ideas that we're going to flesh out here on the air. Yeah. Because it's a lot more fun when I have the camera in front of me. But so this list is very much. I could tell the person who wrote out this list was very much probably around the same age as me. They're probably in their mid to late 30s. Okay. They probably started playing JRPGs somewhere in the mid 90s on a Super Nintendo, because the two of the top 3 are 2 of my favorite games of all time, Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI. The number 2 game is Final Fantasy VI, or as some people in America would know it as Final Fantasy III, back when it came out on Super Nintendo. But that is one of my favorites of all time. And then the number 3 game is Chrono Trigger, which is my favorite role-playing game of all time, because it involves time travel, and it involves a very heartfelt story that you just get invested in. And that's the thing. Those 2 games in particular, I love those games because I got emotionally invested in these games. They had no voice acting. There was really not much in the way of fancy cutscenes. These are 16-bit, old-ass 1990s, mid-1990s graphics. Yeah. But the way it was crafted just pulled at your heartstrings, just pulled you into these games. And the other thing is, I can replay that's the thing. A lot of these other games, I mean, I wouldn't be willing to put in 100 hours in these other games, but I'll put another 60 to 70 hours in Final Fantasy VI. Hell yeah, I would. And then Chrono Trigger, that game was built to be played over and over and over again, because that was one of the few games where you could restart the game, but start with the stats that you ended with. Oh, nice. So you run through the beginning. That was one of the first times where the concept called New Game Plus is something that was added on to lots of games. throughout, and the reason you would do that, because I remember one of my favorite things, because my friend in high school introduced me to a lot of JRPGs. A fellow by the name of, also named Peter, but also Peter/Pedro. He's the one, he lent me a Super Nintendo, because my family didn't get me a Super NES for the longest time. Like, oh, we bought you your damn Genesis, but I want both. No, you can only have one. So I missed out on a lot of JRPGs, but my friend, he lent me his Super Nintendo. He lent me Chrono Trigger. He lent me Final Fantasy VI. He lent me Final Fantasy IV. He lent me Earthbound, which is that was another game that I was happy to see was on this list. But playing through those games, you could play it over and over. He showed me that, oh, I want you to load up my file, do a new game plus. And the very beginning of the game, all right, so beginning of the game, an incident happens, and you go into the time machine. Mm-hmm. And so there's these two platforms, and it's, oh, you always go into the right. He's like, I want you to go onto the platform on the left. But there's no portal on the panel on the left. Like, go to the panel on the left. I walk up to the panel on the left. It jumps you straight to the final boss.
Oh, damn.
And you only have one character instead of three characters. Yeah. You only have the main character, and you fight the last boss with the character by yourself. And like his character was strong enough to do it. And then it was the funniest ending I've ever seen. It took you straight into this whole complex of rooms, which were all the developers who made the game. Oh. And they're like, congratulations for finding your way into the developer room. And then you'd go and talk to all the little characters, and it was all the developers put in little messages to everyone. All these special messages. I remember that blew me away. Yeah. Like 17-year-old me, my mind was blown. I'm like, this is a thing you can do? This is amazing. There were so many, that was one of the many, that was probably the wackiest ending. Because all of a sudden, oh, you broke the game. Yeah. You started the game over, you took one character, you beat the final boss, and oh, hey, look. Now you can talk to everybody who made the game. But as Bushy's asking for, the number one game on this list is one I have not played. It's Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I understand a lot of people love that game. Skyrim
was number one.
The according to this particular writer, Skyrim is the best role-playing game of all time.
This is one writer's opinion who just really was masturbating over Skyrim.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of his top games were, because I always like to say, because there's Japanese RPGs and there's Western RPGs, and like where a Japanese RPG very much focuses on the path of the hero, very much like that Star Wars. What was it? Who's that? I feel you should know this. It is the path of the hero. It's the thing that everyone was complaining. Oh, episode 7 was just like episode 4. It's like, no, it all goes back to this hero archetype where
the hero's journey.
Hero's journey, yes. Yeah. I forget the what do you call it? The name of the writer who came up with this, the hero's journey. It's like, oh, the call to act, the unknown young person, call to action, unknown power. You face great evil, and you overcome it. You have to go through hardships, and then you overcome it. That is the Japanese RPG also. That it follows that system, where the Western, there's Western RPGs now. That I really feel like the Western RPG became really big around the time of Knights of the Old Republic, which is on this list at number 7. And that's the Western RPG is you have lots of options. It's more like the old choose your own adventure books, back in the old days where if you choose to do this, turn to page 25, or you choose to do this, turn to page 35. Oh, you died.
Yeah. The problem with Skyrim was that it wasn't a choose your own adventure. It was a choose every adventure.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's that more Western where you get more out. Where the Japanese RPG was very, very linear, where you followed a straight line. Yeah. Where a lot more Western gamers like the whole, I want to be able to do whatever I want. I want that GTA style where I don't have to follow the main story. Yeah. I can choose to do all these different quests. And so I feel the person who wrote this list is very much more of a Western RPG where me, I was raised on JRPGs, and so I don't really. I've tried Knights of the Old Republic. I understand it's a great game, but I struggled through it. I got bored, and I switched to some other game. All those I really have never really played through any of those. The developer BioWare, they were really the first big Western RPG developer, where all these games were made in America. Mm-hmm. And so so you had your so this list, let me just quickly run through the top 10 here.
Yeah,
Skyrim, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim was number 1.
Well, no, go from 10 down.
10 down? Okay, so 10, one of my personal favorites, Final Fantasy Tactics. That was more of a grid-based.
Yeah.
A lot of people really like those type of games nowadays. Whereas a grid-based, right, to choose. And I remember I played that in college, and I lost lots of hours of my life to that game. Yeah. Number 9 was Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of, I don't know, Anne? 8 was Diablo 2, which that was more of a loot-based one, where you'd run around and try to get as much shit as possible. You'd kill everything in sight. 7 was Knights of the Old Republic. 6 is World of Warcraft, which that was the first mass.
Including MMO.
They did include MMO. So number 6 was World of Warcraft, that big, massively multiplayer online RPG.
EverQuest show up on this list.
I can look. So 6 is World of, and then 5 was the other one where I'm like, this guy's really biased to the present. Like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is number 5, and then number 4 was Mass Effect. So this guy was pretty, like, although I think he was respecting history by mentioning Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and such, but he was very much biased more towards these modern RPGs. Because 11, he had Bloodborne at 11, and Fallout 3 at 12. Those are, let me see, Planetscape, Deus Ex, Pokemon Red and Blue.
Where was 7?
Final Fantasy 7, he had that at 18. So wow. He still had it. He had it pretty high up. And then,
in your opinion, some people have put that as the number 1 of all.
See, that's a whole other episode where I'm going to talk about how much I don't like Final Fantasy 7.
That's actually a good episode title for that episode. Why Dre hates Final Fantasy 7.
That game, I don't even want to get into it. I want to save that for when we actually have the episode where we focus on that.
So much vitriol.
Because so many people freaking salivate over that game. It's the freaking 6 and 7 are the diametric opposites of each other. Where 6 was a story-based game, while 7 was like, look how pretty this is! Isn't this amazing?
Well, the story had to have something to connect with, otherwise people...
It made no sense!
Yeah.
7 made no... God... Playing through it, I was like, oh wow, everything looks really awesome. Look at these awesome summons. I'm summoning Bahamut. He's blowing up the planet. This is freaking cool. Yeah. Knights of the Round. See, no, I gotta save this for the actual episode.
I just love tweaking it though.
See, now Matt. Oh, thank you, Matt Hamlin on Facebook Live. You brought up one of the things I was very annoyed, where they friggin' Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest. That did not get an entry in here until all the way to, like, hang on, 51 for Dragon Quest 8, and he doesn't even have the original Dragon Quest. The game a lot of us old people know as Dragon Warrior on the NES. That was like the freaking one of the forebears of role playing games.
So where did EverQuest show up?
I'm looking here. Let me see. Let me see if I can quickly find EverQuest. Let's see. Oh, Valkyrie profile. Hey, I didn't notice that earlier. And then for my other JRPG fans, Suikoden 2 was at 29.
Okay.
Let me see. EverQuest 22.
22. Okay.
EverQuest was at 22.
And yeah, Can't Fail was just telling us right now, 22. And yeah, at least 7 was better than 8. Yeah, that's not saying much though.
8. Oh, see. 8. I don't know about it. Yeah. It's funny. Around that era, I was in college. Burning through those games. I played through 7. I played through. God, I wasted a lot of college time on those games.
Oh, dude, same here.
The PS1. I mean, I probably played more RPGs on PlayStation 1, but I feel like the better RPGs were on the Super Nintendo. Because on PS1, that was like, this is another gaming thing. That was like right where the budgets were not too high.
Yeah.
And then you had much more accessibility to more games. Like the developers were able to make better quality games and get them out to the people. Where like today, like a lot of those games from that era, like a Parasite Eve, or Vandal Hearts, who was this? Twist of Tales of. There were all these different games. Romancing Saga. There's all these PS1 games. Front Mission 3. That's another one. I sunk 300 hours in that game. 150 on one playthrough and 150 where I chose the other side and played through that. That was the perfect time for developers where they could take chances because the budgets were not as high. Like today, all those games would not get published today. Or if they did, it'd be very limited. They'd be exclusive to like Amazon or exclusive to GameStop because it was just. It would not be a good investment to spend all that money, like the money it would require to make a game like this on a PS4 or a disc-based game. Because back then budgets were not as high. You could afford to still pay everyone to make the game, and you'd sell if you sold 10,000, 20,000 copies. Okay, you're all right. You paid for the game. The publisher would be fine, and everything would be okay. Now, if a game sold 50,000 copies, it'd be a failure.
Yeah.
Because it is very much a niche it's still very niche playing Japanese RPGs. I mean, like Final Fantasy made it kind of cool back in the day. See, I was like, Final Fantasy VII introduced a lot of people to Japanese RPGs because of the fanciness. It was the first, and even the ad campaign back then, the first cinematic RPG. Yeah, because they had the fancy friggin' high-res cutscenes.
Yeah, and it was the first time a video game had ever been able to visually tell a story like that.
Yes.
Matt Hamlin on Facebook just mentioned something. Secret of Mana should have been number 2.
Secret of Mana was really good. On this list, they have it at 16.
Yeah, see, this guy who's writing this article,
I feel like I'm looking at this list like he's kind of biased towards modern gaming because he had that recently released Persona 5. I think he had it all the way up at freaking. He lists all the Persona, like Persona 5 at like 19. Like, that game just came out like a month ago. I mean, I'm sure it's good. I've seen a lot of my friends playing it on my PlayStation friend list, but I don't see that as being like one of the top 20 games of all time. Yeah.
I'm down my PlayStation. I have to wait till it gets back to me. It's repairing the spitting out the disc problem.
Oh, you also have the burping issue. Yeah. The only thing that should be burping in your house is your son. Which he does. It's insane. Yeah, this list was I have to thank Bushy Browley, aka Caleb, for telling me about this list so that we could go through this. And yeah, this list is very biased towards like a lot of modern gaming. Like he puts in a lot of stuff to kind of like appease people like me. We're like, although he put Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I feel that's more like an action game than RPG. It does have RPG elements where you do level up, and Destiny is on this list at number 81.
Okay. I wouldn't even. I don't know if I can even put that as a role playing game.
Yeah, you are playing as
an MMO shooter.
Yeah. It's more shooting than role playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a guardian. I'm killing all the aliens, but.
And that's a great story that we're following along in this game. That's really the motivating factor for why we all play it.
Yeah, it just.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I feel like there's too many modern games on this list to dignify it with any credibility. But it's just nuts.
That kind of stuff pisses me off. Where a person takes the time to come up with maybe he should have done the top 50. Because then you wouldn't have to throw in all of these games that shouldn't be considered RPG.
I'm sure his editor probably gave him like, you have to do 100.
Oh.
Because every couple of years, Game Informer does this where they do their top whatever. They like pissing everyone up by doing
their. Was it the April Fool's episode? Maybe.
I don't know.
Because if that's the case, then all right.
No, I feel like this was the May or the June issue. So we're out of the back in the old days. Back when EGM used to do the April Fool's joke. That was always my favorite. Sonic is a hidden character in Smash Bros. Melee.
Final Fantasy 15 on the list. Somebody asked earlier, and I didn't get a chance to.
I don't think 15's on the list. Let me give it a quick.
Other modern games.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is on here.
What?
Yeah, that just came out. I'm not even sure if that's an RPG. No.
Wow. Okay, so
no Final Fantasy 15, which is a good game.
Sounds like whoever created this list really was
they had their own agenda.
Was doing it from a perspective that was very personalized.
Yeah. Well, of course it is. Of course, an opinion piece. So naturally, but it's our job here to judge people and judge them for the.
Fantasy 9 was really good, and 12 was way underrated.
Yeah. 9. See, that's my brother. That's his favorite Final Fantasy because that's the one.
9 was great.
Because that one felt like more like that. That was closer to 6 than anything else. Oh, Breath of the Wild, yes. Breath of the Wild is 47 on this list. Andy Vasquez on Facebook left. But I want to transition here. We're going to talk about something else I hate.
Uh-oh.
Man, so this past Thursday was National Lisp Awareness Day, or AKA May the 4th. Because, May the 4th be with you. I have to give credit. A friend of mine made that joke. And before I could make it on the Facebook.
Disavow the joke as not being yours. Quickly.
It's not my joke, but I wanted to make it. So May the 4th was this past week.
Yeah.
So naturally, every TV channel has the rights to the movies was showing them.
Yeah.
Like when we were at the pizza place before watching Guardians, they were showing. I forgot which one was on. I'm not sure if it was a Jedi.
Empire.
It was Empire.
Yeah.
They're showing Empire. And on Friday night, so I was home on Cinco de Mayo. I do not celebrate Cinco de Mayo because
every day for you is a celebration of Cinco de Mayo.
I'm Mexican.
Exactly.
I can have margaritas and Coronas. Well, I'm more of a Tecate man than a Corona man myself, but
for all of us, it's just called Friday.
So on Friday, I was home playing Destiny, and I run 2 TVs because I'm a crazy person, and I had my TV still on TNT from Thursday watching basketball, and they were showing episode 3. Oh no, I was watching the end of episode 4. I'm like, oh cool, New Hope. All right, gonna get to watch watch the end part where Luke's kind of whining a hung, and you're so greedy, Benny, greedy, and he's whining to Leia like, oh, I thought Han was a cool guy, and then you watch all the pilots die. Good old fat Jack Porkins. I got a problem here. I got a problem. Yeah, the weight capacity of the X-wing has been exceeded.
And they had to name him Porkins.
I mean, come on, Lucas. You named the fat guy Porkins, you're a dick.
Have we ever hit a nail on the head more precisely than that?
Even the Lego version of Jack Porkins was fat.
Yeah.
I made an Instagram post a couple years ago when I saw they made a Lego Jack Porkins. They made him fat. What a dick move.
Even the Family Guy version of him had him overflowing.
It's like fucking dick move. All right, so I'm watching that. You see, watching the poor red leader. Like, they came from behind. Bah! And then Luke being the overzealous young Luke. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to shoot all the turbo lasers. Watch out, Luke, you're going too fast. And it's like, Jedis were dicks.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, this is now my, so of course, for whatever reason, TNT, instead of showing them in order, I feel they think they went backwards.
Oh yeah.
They show I didn't have access to what happened if they showed Empire before New Hope, but after New Hope they put on Revenge of the Sith, and after Revenge of the Sith they showed probably the worst one,
Clone Wars,
Attack of the Clones. I mean, and so I sat and I had them on in the background, and I'm like, you know what? All right, it's Revenge of the Fifth. I mean, I'm playing Destiny, and I had them on in the background, and I was rewatching episode 3, and good God, all I could think about was like, Jedi are stupid.
Yeah.
Like the Sith one. I mean, Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine, he was a smart guy.
Yeah.
He ran circles around these stupid Jedi.
Oh yeah.
He was upside down in all their shit.
Well, wasn't there I haven't seen them in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there some plot point that they couldn't use the Force or something to see the future or some nonsense?
Yeah, oh yeah. There was I'm not sure if that was episode 1 or episode 2, where Yoda is like, oh, the future is very clouded.
Yeah,
it's very clouded right now. It's like if these are supposed to be equal sides of the Force, how come the dark side is just beating the dog shit out of the light side? You have one Sith Lord who's able to take out hordes of Jedi. Freaking old man Palpatine.
But all his lackeys suck though. Remember, because like Darth Maul got taken out pretty quick. And...
well, no. If you watch the Clone Wars show, and if you watch Rebels, you know what?
Yeah, right.
That was a tough motherfucker.
Yeah. But then you had what's his name? And that was
Count Dooku?
Oh, Count Dooku?
Count Dooku.
No, the worst was Grievous.
General Grievous?
Remember, they promoted the shit out of that character, and then he's like, oh, shot him in the chest, it's over.
See, but unfortunately, his character was way more badass in the cartoon. Yeah. Because a few months ago, I went back and I watched all the Clone Wars before it was taken off of Netflix, which apparently it was not taken off of Netflix because it's still there. And I'm like, I marathon this for nothing. But and that's another thing where that show also expanded upon my opinion of the Jedi being stupid. Yeah. they're so hard-headed and stubborn and ignorant. I mean, all this pain and suffering could have been stopped. Yeah. Many times. But Emperor Palpatine, smartest guy in the room apparently.
Took over, man.
He just took over. Hey, I'm going to start with Yoda. He is I feel like he is the most responsible for the Sith friggin' winning. He's the most responsible because, first of all, one of my favorite radio show hosts, the guy who inspired who inspires the open of the show, Jim Rome, he has always called Yoda a quitter.
He was, right?
Because Yoda is a quitter. He was fighting Darth Sidious at the end of the movie. He was getting his ass kicked a little bit, but he finally, he freaking had Darth Sidious ass over tea kettle, falling backwards, and then Yoda kind of all right, this is my chance. Maybe instead of, he was presented with the Western RPG choice, go after Emperor Palpatine or run away, and he chose run away, and he's like, oh, I must go into exile.
Yeah.
It's dude threw all his force lightning at you, you caught it, pushed him backwards, you see Palpatine, he's like, holy fuck.
I think what makes it worse is he came in with that badass when he walked in, those two guards, and he just made a hand gesture and they just knocked him out.
Knocked him out. Or earlier in the movie,
he cut that dude's head off.
He got the two freaking shore troopers who were trying to roll up on him, and he just fucking pops up, one helicopter attack, and you see two trooper heads just rolling on the ground. This is the greatest of the Jedi warriors. Can't stand up to old man Palpatine, who had already had his ass kicked by Mace Windu, and I'm going to get to him in a bit. Already had his ass whipped, scarred. Scarred. I have been scarred by the Jedi. I'm like, that's the only truth that freaking Emperor Trumpeltine fucking said. I have been scarred by the Jedi.
But it was his own lightning.
It was his own lightning, but Mace Windu Mace Windu apparently was probably the best Jedi warrior because he actually beat Palpatine's ass. And it was only because of dumb fuck Anakin who fucked everything up.
Yeah.
But I digress. Let's get back to Yoda. Yoda decides to go into exile.
Yeah.
Hey, let me just hide on this swamp planet. Tell Obi-Wan how to commune with the Force and do nothing for 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
It's like, the fuck is this shit? Fucking quitter. No. Let's instead of going out and finding more Jedi. Hey, there's bound to be more Jedi left beyond just Obi-Wan and freaking Yoda. What the hell? And Mace Windu. So, if you're gonna go confront the Sith Lord that has coordinated everything that has happened, you bring more than 4 fucking Jedi.
That's true.
He showed up with 4 dudes.
Yeah.
He showed up with the guy with the name that I laugh at the most, Kit Fisto. The green dude with the green freaking dreadlocks.
Isn't that one of the NSYNC guys or?
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
One of those guys.
Kit Fisto was one of the NSYNC guys?
NSYNC.
It would have been funny if it was Lance Bass, because I'm sure he knows all about being Fisto. You're welcome.
Thank you.
But you show up with 4 Jedi, and freaking Palpatine shreds the 4 of them instantaneously because, Dark Lord of the motherfucking Sith, I am the most powerful of my order. But, Mace Windu, being the greatest Jedi warrior ever, beats his ass.
Yeah.
Has him there, and then dumb fuck Anakin, but he can say Padme. I'm like, God damn it! No, I'm saving Anakin for last.
You should have Mace should have force blasted him into the wall.
Yeah, exactly. No, Mace should not have. It should not have been a discussion between Mace and Anakin about he needs to die. No, it shouldn't have been he needs to die. He should have went whomp, chopped off his head. All right, we're done. We have avoided the rise of the Sith. But no, Mace was right there. Nope. We're going to discuss this civilly. No, you are Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson. Your character does not discuss things civilly. But let me go back to more issues I have with Mace Windu. Mm-hmm. Mace Windu, whole time, I don't trust him. I don't trust the boy. Yeah. He should not be trained to a Jedi. Then he should not have been trained. Going all the way back to the first one where Yoda and Mace are nah, he's too old. End of story. They have all these fucking rules of all these Jedi. They can't do that. They can't fall in love. They can't have possessions. They can't. And they break all their rules for fucking Anakin.
Yeah.
They brought this upon themselves. Morons. Rubes. We are keepers of the peace. Yeah, when shit ain't going down, yeah, you guys are all amazing. But once there's a war going on, apparently y'all a bunch of morons.
Yeah, because didn't he say at one point the keepers of the peace are not soldiers, but they all become generals?
They all become generals. We need generals to lead all these clones, which were, another plot twist provided by the enemy. My friend Bushy, my birthday boy Bushy, he was like, oh man, it was the Sith. It was because of the Sith that the Clone Wars ended. I'm like, dude, it was because of the Sith that the Clone Wars started. Yeah, it's pretty easy to end something that you started. Mm-hmm. Man, they contradicted themselves all the goddamn time. And you have all these other, and from watching the Clone Wars show, there was apparently a host of freaking corrupt Jedi.
Oh yeah.
There was this one general who just used to send clone troopers just to die. He saw them all as objects. Like, what? How'd you let this motherfucker into the order? I thought it was all about preserving life, and yet you got this dude it was this four-armed motherfucker. He was like the General Grievous, but like the quote-unquote good guy version. He was this giant four-armed bullfrog-looking motherfucker. Like, whatever, Master, whatever his name was. He has the highest casualty rate of any general. And then you had one of the main characters of the show was Captain Rex. He was like the best of the best of the best of the clone troopers. He was freaking Anakin's best friend.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to openly defy this guy. He's like, oh yeah, the Jedi is wrong. I'm like, yes, motherfucker, the Jedi are wrong. They're dumb.
They're dumb.
Another one, like this one general, Luminaria Undali. I only know her name because I play the Star Wars phone game. Her Padawan is a traitor. Blew up the fucking Jedi Temple. Under her nose the whole time. You had this freaking... I am so mad right now. My temperature has risen. I am sweating right now. You had this freaking traitor, Barriss Onfi, who, like, all my friends who play this Star Wars phone game, they all hate her. I'm like, no, there's a real reason you should hate her. Not because she's a bad character, but because she's an all-human being who betrayed the Jedi Order. And she framed the one smart Jedi. This one, the character that was kind of created for the Clone Wars show, Ahsoka Tano, which was Anakin's Padawan. She's the only smart one. Yeah. She's literally the only smart Jedi. You know why she's the smartest? I will tell you the very reason why she's the smartest Jedi. She quit being a Jedi right before everything went down. Yeah. After she got blamed for the Jedi Temple being blown up, they're like, okay, we're sorry, our bad. It was that other chick. We apologize. You can be a Jedi again. And she's like, nah. Y'all are stupid.
Ski guys, I'm going.
Ski guys, I'm going. She was the smartest one because she realized, y'all just as stupid as the fucking enemy. And she quit. Thankfully, she came back in the Rebel show. And then they had the great freaking battle between Padawan and Master, between her and Anakin. And Anakin, Anna fucking Kin. Jeez. I'm glad they didn't show episode 1, because then I probably would have been even, my top would have popped. Pod racing is awesome! Yeah!
Now, here's the funny thing. There's a generation of people who started their Star Wars journey on episode 1.
And I feel bad for them.
Who love it. And one of them is my girlfriend.
I know, you told me this.
She likes Jar Jar. But then again, she also likes country music and Nickelback, so I had really questioned her judgment. And she likes,
I'm questioning your judgment right now.
She likes me, too, which really freaks me out. But,
what does that say about you?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Good. No, there's another person that I knew loved episode 1. She loved all of the Star Wars saga, but she came in on episode 1, so she feels like there's a group of people that really have an attachment.
It's a generation. Much like I said 2 years ago, like all the kids who watched Guardians of the Galaxy, that is their Star Wars now.
Star Wars,
This is their Star Wars. But unfortunately, any kids who were born in the mid '90s and who were like 6, 7, 8 years old when episode 1 came out, this is their Star Wars.
And plus, it didn't help that everybody was hyping it up so much going in.
Oh, because we didn't know.
And then all of a sudden we get Jar Jar.
I sat outside of the Montebello AMC for 6 hours, playing poker with my buddies, waiting to watch episode 1. They're like, all right, here we go, guys. First new Star Wars movie in 20 years. This is going to be great.
Yeah, man.
It was like, we were all hyping it up, hoping it was going to be something that lived up to all of that.
And it was impossible. There's no way.
Yeah, but the problem was they threw Jar Jar.
Well, no, the problem was, much like I say about Kanye West, how now he cannot produce music because he doesn't have anyone to say no to him. George Lucas, in 1999 or whatever, he did not have anyone that would say no to him. And he had complete control of what was happening in the movie. Even Fox was like, you know what? Fuck it. Make whatever you want. We don't care. Can we sell toys? George Lucas did not have anyone to tell him no.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't even realize the Star Wars movies that you enjoy, like Empire, and like he didn't
write them.
You know, it was like story by George Lucas.
Story by George Lucas by like friggin' Lawrence Kasdan.
Yeah.
Erwin Kershner directed the second one.
Yeah.
Someone else directed the third one.
Yeah. Steven Spielberg was supposed to direct the third one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like he didn't.
He got a little busy.
The only one he had his full hands on was New Hope.
And that was still young, idealistic George Lucas, not drunk with money and power.
So you teased this a little earlier, and I have to bring you back to it.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about your feelings, and I'm saying this as a therapist. Tell me about your feelings about Anakin.
Anakin is everything that is wrong with the prequels. Anakin is awful. Anakin is the worst Deus Ex Machina I've ever seen in my life. And I've watched a lot of bad movies and read a lot of bad stories. He's such an awful, this journey of him becoming Darth Vader. I think everyone was hoping this would be some epic tale. Like, how did this little boy become this symbol of fear? This, all through the 80s and the early 90s, Darth Vader, you always associated that with freaking awesomeness. Badass.
He could choke you from across the room.
He could choke you from another ship.
Yeah.
In Empire, he choked that one dude from another ship.
Yeah. He actually literally could throw that shit from the other room.
He could. He was more black than Black Dynamite. But you're welcome, Sam. But you watch this during this annoying little freaking pod racing boy.
Yeah.
To this weirdo stalker pervert psychopath in episode 2. The kiss, it haunts me. Sand, I hate it. It's rough. I mean, I'm not even going to put this on freaking George. I'm not going to put this on freaking the actor, because he was directed to this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like these were not his choices. This was Lucas.
Yeah.
I killed them like animals, and the women. And the children, too. It's like, really? This is the great origin of Darth motherfucking Vader?
Yeah.
A whiny little shit who stalks freaking Padme and freaking, basically Stockholm syndromes her into falling in love with him, and he freaking throws a baby in her. Oh, wait. Hey, I'm a Jedi. I shouldn't be doing these things. Fuck it.
Looks like that gene skipped a generation.
Clearly.
I'm not kidding. His grandkid is just as much of a whiny bitch.
That's symmetry, man. That's story symmetry right there.
Yeah,
that's why Kylo Ren's so obsessed with Darth Vader. It's like, he's the original bitch. I want to be a bitch just like him.
In psychology, that's called Bowenian family systems, where you can trace all of the problems from previous generations right down to you. And that's the thing that's happening here. They made Kylo Ren into as big a bitch as his grandpa.
And it's like the Clone Wars Anakin, which had no interference from George Lucas, he was actually okay. Yeah. I thought Clone Wars Anakin was cool. Clone Wars Anakin was go in first, ask questions later. Plan? We'll have a plan while we're in there. We'll figure it out while we're in there. I just happen to get out of everything because I'm probably the strongest Force user.
So he was Captain Kirk?
A little bit. You know what? He was on Clone Wars. He was Captain Kirk, but then we go right back to Episode 3, and then we can just kind of oh, never mind.
Yeah.
He's a bitch. They should make me a Jedi Master. Wah! And it's everything. It's the whole Obi-Wan's trying to take Padme from me. You dumb fuck.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. God, you freaking you were boys for fucking years, and all of a sudden you suddenly think, oh, he's after my girl. Yeah. He's trying to kill me. And then he kills his woman.
Well, maybe she'd want to leave him because he's such a whiny little bitch.
I'm sure at the end she probably was trying, but after she realized, after freaking, my favorite meme I've seen recently was Anakin's killing younglings, and then there's a beer called Youngling. He's just pounding younglings. Anakin decides, Anakin just completely disobeys everything because he's Anakin. Hey, if you stay here at the temple, I will... Mace Windu, poor choice. Let me tell the most rebellious dumb fuck I have. If you stay here at the temple, I will trust you. My God. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Every wrong decision that could be made, and that's the thing. When I hate in a fictional medium when characters make bad choices just to make them.
Yeah.
Like it's just you're making stupid decisions just not because some outside force is compelling you to, or because you feel like you think this is the right choice. No, he's just being stupid.
Yeah.
Everything is just dumb.
Yeah, the moment he saves the Emperor, right? He's like, all right, I'm on your side now.
Yeah, no, he's like, he must stand trial, and then fuck it, chops off Mace Windu's arm, watches him get electrocuted and flown out the window, and I hope in some way, oh, maybe he survived that. Yeah, maybe Mace Windu survived that, and we'll get one-armed freaking Mace Windu in some future movie, but. It's like, he just decides, all right, he goes from, he should stand trial to, fuck it, I'll serve you, help me save my wife, because she's going to die. She's going to die because of you, you fucking shithead. And then freaking the very end, where I feel where Darth Vader has been ruined forever. Where, like, there's literally a website, you just type in N and a whole bunch of O's, and you're just like, no! Poor James Earl Jones had to come in and ADR that shit. Where's Padme?
Did they reuse that later on, too?
No!
And he does the Frankenstein walk?
Yeah, he Frankenstein walks. He's like, he got brand new legs, so he doesn't know how to walk yet. I mean, I can live with the Frankenstein walk. And then you have freaking Emperor Palpatine like, yes, you killed it, yes. I mean, but that's a cocky motherfucker. Because I always like to mention, because on the Honest trailer, Honest trailers, go to YouTube. If you don't watch those, I fucking highly recommend them. The Honest trailer for Episode 3 pointed out one of my favorite things in Episode 3, where in one conversation, like when Emperor Palpatine is sitting with freaking. When Anakin, and they're watching some like play or space opera, some giant orb of water floating and things are happening. Yeah. It's like freaking George Lucas's like fever pot dream. Yeah. Emperor Palpatine does 4 evil head turns in one conversation. It's like usually an evil man ends a conversation with an evil head turn. No, he does 4 of them in one conversation.
He's that evil.
He is that evil. He does the not from a Jedi. There are dark ways that you could. He does the evil head turn that an evil person does. And one, Anakin doesn't recognize it. Wow, he's doing a lot of evil head turns. He seems quite creepy right now. Not from a Jedi. And I remember, and then when that came up, I remember, ooh, I have to watch this. I need to see all 4 evil head turns happen as they happen. And good God, it's like Anakin, dumbest fuck ever. Like ruined Darth Vader forever. Now, like,
yeah. He was pretty bad.
He was pretty bad. I mean, like, granted, the 2 minutes that he had in friggin' Rogue One, where like I felt that was a bit of a small redemption of showing you like this friggin' angst-filled asshole with the bad dad jokes in Rogue One. It's like trying not to choke on your aspirations, and he's choking out Krennic like, ah. And then friggin' at the end, we just cutting through friggin' rebels like friggin' nope, you're paper, you're nothing, you don't exist.
But even up to the very end, when Obi-Wan told him, like don't do it. Like, I have the high ground.
Yeah, no, oh, thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you. Moron. Obi-Wan warns you. Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power. No legs, no arms. Fucking treated him like a fucking pair of Julian fries. Like, ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch.
But see, that's the thing, too. Okay, I get the emotional reason why he didn't do it, but Obi-Wan should have just, like, kicked him into the volcano.
Dude, seriously. No, should have just ended him.
Yeah.
He should have ended him.
Yeah.
No, just make sure. Just
the thing. If that actually happened, then every single copy of episodes 4 through 6 would have disappeared.
I know.
The movie, the entire series, gone.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Well, okay. And I didn't want to bury Obi-Wan. I felt was probably one of the least stupid people, but he's not without blame.
No, he was stubborn. Like, even they told him not to train him.
No, don't train Anakin. I'm going to train him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, all these things are happening. I better not do anything about it.
Yeah.
Just stand idly by and do nothing as everything falls around you. And then Ewan McGregor's worst acting. Yeah, no, he's the dog surrounded by fire. This is fine. Hold on. I better check the security tapes and break my heart. I already know the answer, but I have to see it for myself. Master Skywalker, what will you do? You're going to get cut in half, kid. Wah! Poor little British child.
That's probably why he killed him, because he called him Master Skywalker. He's like, I'm not a master.
I'm not a Jedi Master. You just triggered me. Dude, oh my God, Anakin's a millennial. He was a millennial before millennial was a thing. Oh my God. He was a millennial Jedi.
There it is.
Oh, he was so... crazy sense of entitlement. Hashtag triggered all the time. Oh, it's Count Dooku. You cut off my arm. I'm so much more powerful than you right now. It's like... Holy shit, we have stumbled upon this. But yes, those I can keep going about how much I hate Anakin, but I'm going to stop. Because I should stop. Because I am sweating. I am so angry and emotional about this.
Yeah.
I felt my internal temperature. I'm like, is there an air conditioner in here I can turn on? Because I am sweating. So... what I wanted to bring up with the team here and live on the show is that I was thinking that we should be doing... I'm going to do a lot more stuff on the Facebook. I feel like I don't post enough content on the Facebook page. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing with you, well, this week, at some point this week, I don't know when, I'll post a thing. I picked up Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series game.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna live stream those episodes as they come out. I'll do those from the comfort of my home. But what I also want to do is, I want to come by the Nostalgic Books and Comics podcast studio, and I want to do some talking comics. We can do like a 15, 20-minute show where we talk about comics. Yeah. Especially since you have your big show coming up, East LA Comic Con. T-minus what, 10 days? 12 days?
Something like that.
It's soon.
I'm not even counting.
May 20th. Oh, yeah, you don't want to count.
I don't want to look at the calendar.
May 20th, East LA, El Gallo Plaza.
12 days.
12 days. Soon. It's soon.
It's very soon.
All right, and I do maybe want to do an episode. Sometimes I come over here and I hang out at the Secret Podcast Studio with Sam, and we could do like a 15, 20-minute quick. I pop up the phone, boom. We do talking games or do some because I feel like I need to put out more content on the show page to get more people interested. Because honestly, I was hurt last week. Oh, I was going to lead off the show with this, but I decided not to. I was hurt last week. Only 70 of you people watched the show last week, when our average was like in the 200s.
Yeah.
We only had 70 views after a week.
Damn you, ESPN.
No, I'm not blaming it on ESPN. No. Because, we never had a title before, and people used to tune in. All of a sudden, I don't know if everyone was busy or something, but we had the worst views for last week's show. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what, but so I feel like I'm going to have to engage people more on the fail books here. But so you're going to start seeing a lot more content popping up on the Facebook page, a lot more live videos, like random stuff, like the reason I thought of it, because we sat at your comic shop on Saturday night after Free Comic Book Day
and talked comics.
We talked comics for like 3 hours. Yeah. We talked nonsense. Yeah. I mean, I told you stories. Yeah, I was telling ridiculous work stories and all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna be trying to put out more content when as time permits, or as my battle with depression permits as well. Yeah. So, as always, you can follow the show. If you want to see this brand new content, follow the show, facebook.com/DreGP podcast. You can watch the show if you want to see all three of us on camera. You can go to twitch.tv/DreGP podcast. You can follow us on Twitter, which I'm doing a terrible job at doing, at DreGP podcast. You can follow Sam Zia, executive producer Sam Zia, at SamZ570. At SamZ570. You can follow Pete Malini at Nostalgic_Comics. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Maybe that's right. After 4.5 months, I should know these by now. I should know these by now. So, for executive producer Sam Zia, for judgmental nerd Pete Malini, I am your host, Dre Cervantes. Be on the lookout for more content from us. Like, share, subscribe. Go on iTunes if you want to hear the audio, if you want to clearly hear these other two gentlemen, and not just me yelling into my phone. iTunes.com, search Dre's Geek Philosophy, Dre's with an apostrophe, to find us. There's also a link on the Facebook page and on the Twitter. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you all. Everybody, have a good night.